Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. It is less than 100 days till Justice League comes out, and I cannot wait. And every single day, I kid you not, there is some news, just a little bit of some more news about Justice League, about DC Extended Universe, about this DC films in a whole, the cinematic universe. I love it. I live it. I can't believe the time that we live in now. I would never thought we'd get another Batman film after the Tim Burton Batman film. You know, we don't expect sequels back then. Never did. And now we're getting cinematic universes where the same actors playing the same roles over and over in different stories, creating and building a giant universe. This is, I don't know. I can't believe it. It still boggles my mind. Well, a little more details before I get to the main point of my video. Some stuff that came out. An artist released this picture of what SteppenWolfe's face looks like. Frankly, it looks pretty scary. Yeah, he looks really good. And then whatever I said about him looking like Ares, yes, he got the horns, but his face looks demonic, looks scary, looks big, looks menacing. I love it. It actually is better than Ares' little mustache thing going on there with those glaring, dark, black, empty eyes. So I love it. Another concept art that released was this giant flying fox. You just see the scale of this plane that Batman or Bruce Wayne has for the Justice League. And you get to see a little bit of the characters here, and as you zoom in, and it's like, wait a minute. Does that say Wayne Enterprises? Has Bruce Wayne Batman gone completely nuts now and doing the whole Tony Stark and revealing who he is? I don't know, but I hope that they take that off within the movie, because that doesn't make sense. That unless it's like really stealth and nobody actually sees it, but you know, why risk that? Just take off the name Wayne Enterprises off of it. It would fix everything. Obviously concept art, but you get to the gist of how large this flying fox is, and that's pretty good. Another thing that's coming out is the Wonder Woman digital HD is being released on August 29 this month. That's really quick. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer than that, but I think they want to get it out of the way before more of that Justice League marketing just pops right in, because promo art is coming everywhere. At September 19th is the Blu-ray DVD. Shockingly is that there are deleted scenes. Of course, when you're reading the deleted scenes, if you go ahead and look online, some of those seem to be maybe the same scenes we've seen in the movie, so it's probably extended scenes. Actor Joe Morton, who plays Dr. Silas Stone, who is Victor Stone's dad, he had an interview that he mentioned how they're changing the tone of Cyborg in this Justice League film. And that's for most of the reshoots that he had to do. They're changing the lightening up, quote unquote, lightening up Cyborg's character. This is like Frankenstein and his monster, and so I guess it could get a little bit dark and scary, and they need to make it a little bit, lighten up that tone for that character a little bit. I can totally see if they want kids to watch it. I could totally see how Zack Snyder looked at that and said, you know, I think we should lighten up some of these parts. Please help me fix this. Now, the main conversation that I wanted to bring up today, it starts with that article about Joe Morton talking about how it's lightening up the tone. And we kind of got into the breakdown a little bit, and a lot of people have also talked about this as well. If you looked in the Justice League trailer, the early release look, the early look from last year, and then the Comic-Con trailer we got this year. Now you look at that, and there are scenes that are the same. But one has changed the colors of it. There's less saturation, a little bit more color, or at least more realistic color. It doesn't have any filters on it, if you will. I believe this was all planned, the color schemes that Zack Snyder has used. I mean, I could be going too far into this, but this is how I see it. When you first see Man of Steel, we already have that issues where people thought it was a little bit dark, his skin was pasty. The red was bright, but the blue was really dimmed down, so it didn't look as bright and cheerful as one would hope a Superman when would have thought, you know, especially people who really appreciated the Christopher Reeve and always wanted to see that bright Superman. I think this is all part of the plan, as that was the birth. So that was the birth of Superman into a world that where everyone would fear a certain super being on their planet. He had a lot of troubling issues with himself, not sure of what he should do. He was unsure of himself, unsure of what place he is in the world. And so with that, it kind of fits that color scheme of not bright, because it's very dim. We're not sure. We're depressed in a way, wondering if I should have saved my father, wondering if I should, where is my place, where is my family, who am I? And so the colors are not there. It's dimmed, it's mildewed, and because he's literally a kid that just was born, right? A kid that's born into the world, literally told that he's not human, an alien from another world, and he's trying to fit in. And as a kid, when you're trying to fit in into anything, your judgments are clouded, and I think that's why the color scheme was clouded, subdued. Then we get to Batman v Superman. We had it a little bit more colored. We got more color because he's saving people. He knows what he has to do. He has to save people. He has the power, the responsibility to do so. Yet errors that he's done in Man of Steel, where he wasn't really Superman yet. He couldn't control his power. He couldn't control what his own family, the Kryptonians, has done to the world. Him trying to be careful, yet he's berated by the media. He's berated by people who want him gone. They see him as an alien, not part of them yet. So the color is not fully there. It's almost there, but it's not fully there because he's still held back. His own demons, inner demons of, you know, wanting to help people, but just not happy that people don't see him as the beacon of hope. But then it comes crashing down towards the end and he dies. So the death of that, and you see in the color scheme, it becomes completely pasty, no color at all. As you've seen in the funeral area, it very much matches Man of Steel, matches Birth. Now when Justice League comes, you notice the colors are bright. You notice everything is a little bit more bright and cheery. The music is more lively. The action, the jokes, everything is just full-fledged in. And I have to tell you, this is on purpose. Like, Zack Snyder had a cut, he did it, and he says, you know, he was already adding jokes in it. While after Batman v Superman was filming, they already planned it. This is Zack Snyder's plan all along, that Justice League will be the cheerful version, because this is Superman's rebirth. Mankind killed him because Lex Luthor is human. Lex Luthor represents the evilness of mankind, of the paranoia of mankind towards aliens. He represented that. He created a monster using the Kryptonian technology and killed Superman. At a time where people need him, at a time where people finally accepted him as a savior, as a time when they finally see him sacrifice for mankind, sacrifice for a people that wasn't his own, sacrifice for another race other than Kryptonian. And they fully realize this now in Justice League, as they have a monument for him. They had a monument for him before, but they have a giant monument for him now, seeing how much he has done for mankind. And so this is his rebirth. This is his second coming, and he is going to be bright, cheery. He's going to be a great red, that blue red, and some of that, maybe that yellow will pop. His skin tone is fully fleshed out. He's not pasty anymore. And I believe this is the reason why Zack Snyder had, before he left, he had said, we need to do some reshoots to fix the coloring of this. We need to make it much brighter. I see it. You see, from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman, and finally to that Justice League trailer that came out, the color scheme, the less saturation, less saturation, less saturation, and more color, more hopeful, more cheery, all intentional from the time that Chris Terrio had mentioned that they were wanting Justice League to be a brighter, more cheerful, hopeful. This is the return of the Jedi of the entire series. This is the route they were going ever since day one. This was going to be Superman's trilogy, the birth, death, and now the rebirth of a beacon of hope of the Savior, who is Superman. And I can't wait to see this. I'm still wondering how he's going to return. I'm still wondering about that scene. Is he going to pop up? How is he going to show up? It's got to be a glorious moment. And I can't wait to see that part where Lois Lane spins around and she's looking at her man in the sky, floating above there, smiling at her. My heart will melt. I mean, that would be great. It would be incredibly awesome to see that come to fruition. So anyway, that's how I just wanted to explain the birth, death, and rebirth. And I know I talked about Superman trilogy before, but now you see it in colors, and how it's portrayed in colors. Uncertainty in Man of Steel, uncertainty, and he had that mood of the dreariness of death in Batman v Superman, and then now we're gonna feel good. We're gonna feel really awesome and happy in Justice League. I know it. I am almost 100% sure about that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.